You've heard the stories. Water turned into wine, the blind receiving sight, the dead raised to life. But have we really understood the secret behind Jesus' miracles? There's something we often overlook, something hidden in plain sight. And when you grasp it, it changes everything. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see Jesus' miracles in a whole new way. For centuries, scholars, skeptics, and believers alike have marveled at the miracles of Jesus. We hear these stories, turning water into wine, feeding the 5,000, making the blind see, and we stand in awe. But here's the big question. Was it just raw divine power, or was there something deeper at play? Something that, if we truly understood, could transform our faith today. Miracles are powerful. They defy the natural order. They leave us stunned. But have you ever wondered why Jesus performed these miracles in the first place? Was it just to prove his divinity? Or was there something else, something we've missed? Let's start with a passage many of us know well. John 11, the raising of Lazarus. Jesus hears that his friend is sick, but instead of rushing to heal him, he waits. Why? By the time he arrives, Lazarus has been dead for 4 days. His sisters are heartbroken. The crowd is confused. And then, standing before the tomb, Jesus prays, "Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I knew that you always hear me." John 11:41-42. Before he even calls Lazarus out, Jesus acknowledges something crucial, his connection with the Father. He wasn't just performing a miracle, he was demonstrating a relationship. Here's the overlooked secret. Jesus' miracles weren't just displays of divine power. They were acts of faith and intimate communion with the Father. Every miracle was rooted in relationship. Jesus wasn't just showing power, he was showing what faith looks like when fully aligned with God. Now, let's take it even further. Matthew 17:20, Jesus tells his disciples, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, "Move," and it will move. He wasn't just talking about faith in the abstract. He was showing that the miracles they saw weren't meant to be exclusive to him. They were demonstrations of what happens when faith, obedience, and the will of God align perfectly. And guess what? His disciples got it. In Acts, Peter heals a lame man in Jesus' name. Paul raises the dead. The miracles didn't stop with Jesus. They continued because his followers understood the real secret. It was never just about power. It was about faith in alignment with God's will. Notice something? Before almost every miracle, Jesus took a moment to connect with the Father. Whether it was blessing the loaves and fishes before multiplying them, or lifting his eyes to heaven before raising Lazarus, he demonstrated the ultimate truth. Miracles flow from relationship with God. They are not magic tricks. They are manifestations of trust and alignment with divine purpose. So what does this mean for us today? Does God still perform miracles? Absolutely. But here's the key. Miracles aren't just about signs and wonders. They are about the God behind them. They are about faith that moves mountains, trust that defies circumstances, and a connection with the Father that brings heaven's power to earth. Think about the mustard seed. Jesus compared faith to this tiny seed, saying it had the potential to move mountains. Why? Because even the smallest faith, when fully rooted in God's will, has unstoppable power. This is the faith that performed miracles in the first century, and it's the faith that can still transform lives today. Miracles aren't just stories from the past. They are still happening today. When people surrender to God's will, when they believe and align with Him, we see His power at work. That's the key Jesus was showing us. He wasn't just performing miracles. He was revealing what life looks like when we live in total trust and obedience to the Father. Some might ask, why don't we see miracles like in the Bible today? But the better question is, are we walking in the kind of faith Jesus modeled? Are we seeking miracles, or are we seeking God? Because when we pursue Him, miracles follow. Here's my challenge to you. Go back and read the miracles of Jesus. Look not just at what He did, but how He did it, how He prayed, how He trusted. And then ask yourself, what would my faith look like if I truly believed the way Jesus did? If you found this eye-opening, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. There's more to discover, and I'll see you in the next video.